Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Medical Teaching Podcast for both learners and teachers. And today I'm going to be talking about shadowing. So, shadowing is, I don't know about you all, but that shadowing is something that obviously takes place a lot and is an important part of learning as a medical student and as a resident. But one thing that I've found is that shadowing can sometimes end up be ranging from being an incredibly great experience where the teachers involved or teachers engaged and learners engaged, and there's lots of interaction, and it's a rich learning experience for the learner, and it's a fun experience and engaging experience for the teacher. And it ranges from that to where shadowing is basically just the attending physician doing his or her regular job, and with basically as if there was no resident or medical student there, and the medical student is there and just watching and may or may not be engaging their mind to what the attending physician is doing. And so this episode is going to talk about shadowing and how we can make it how we can really kind of move things so that way shadowing is on the great end of the spectrum, more often or most of the time or all the time. So I think number one, it comes down to a commitment on the part of the attending. I think that attitude reflects leadership. The attitude of the learner a lot of times reflects the leadership of the attending physician. And so I think that there are exceptions to that. Of course, there are times when the attitude of the attending may be such that they're trying to lead well, but that the learner just is not able to engage, whether it's because they're distracted or because they have other stuff going on, or they are just not motivated, this or that. But in most cases, attitude reflects leadership. And so it's very important for us as attendings to lead by example and to be excited about our learner being there. So I think that that's number one, is mindset of remembering, okay, your learner is doing it, your learner's here, and you're there to teach your learner. You are there for your learner. And so having an attitude of, okay, so I'm going to focus on helping my learner have the best possible experience that my learner can. So that's, I think, mindset. Intentionality is number one. Number two is to speak out loud. So I think I covered this in one of my other episodes. Is our learners really, what they need more than anything else from us is for us to speak out loud. So, and this applies to all the different aspects of patient care. History taking. When we take a history from our patients, what are we asking? Why are we asking these questions, and how are we asking them? These are the things our learners interested in learning. These are the things our learners must learn. What are we asking? So what questions are we asking? Why are we asking that particular question? Are we asking that particular question because we need a specific answer? Are we asking that question because that is a better way of asking the question to get the answers we need? And then how are we asking it? How are we communicating more effectively? How are we engaging our patients in a way that they're able to engage with us better? And how are we communicating in a way that helps our patients be able to be on board with the plan, right? Because if the patients buy in, then they're more likely to adhere to our recommendations, right? If we don't get our patients to buy in, then they're just not going to follow through with the things that we recommend for them to do, right? So helping our learners know about our history taking, how what we're asking, why we're asking it, and how we're asking it. So then also with our physical exam skills, right? Shadowing experiences is a perfect time, such a great time for us as attendings to be able to pass on physical exam skills to our learners. Our learners want to learn. They want to be better diagnosticians. They want to be better at physical exam this is a great opportunity, bedside rounding, to be able to, if you hear something interesting, or even if it's normal, just to be able to help your learners to grow in confidence in being able to know that they're examining correctly. And so oftentimes I'll just have my learners, even when they're shadowing me, I'll have my learners, I'll say, do a cardiac exam, or do a pulmonary exam, or do an abdominal exam. And then I'll say, report your findings. And then we'll talk about it. So, so having that be interactive can help that even though they're still shadowing you, by having them engage in the activity of doing physical exam, giving them feedback. If they report back, it's normal rate, regular rhythm, but no murmurs. And there's a 3 out of 6 systolic murmur, best heard at the left upper sternal border with radiation to the neck. That's a perfect learning opportunity, a perfect opportunity for you to help your learner to be able to learn at the point of care. And then again, as they're shadowing you, usually then after we've done the exam, then we're usually updating our patients and their families and telling them the plan. That is another great time, right? That's where our assessment and plan is coming out to our patients. That is a perfect time for us to just turn to our learner and say, hey, this is, I'm thinking about this, and this differential diagnosis. And so because of that, I'm going to plan to, order this so I can rule this in or out. And I'm planning on doing this to rule this in or out. Or I'm planning on doing this to rule this or in or out. Or even better, turn to your learner and say, okay, the patient has presented with X and Y problem and X and Y symptoms, and we found this on the exam. So what is your differential diagnosis now? And so in this way, shadowing is not a passive learning activity for our learner. We're engaging them in the assessment and plan and thinking through a differential diagnosis and helping them to engage and to focus and to give us answers. And also then, based on their answers, we're able to assess and figure out, are they tracking? Are they following? Are they paying attention? Or is their mind in la-la land, right? If their mind's in la-la land, they're not going to give a suitable differential diagnosis. Then we're going to be able to see, okay, so perhaps we need to engage our learners in a different way, or engage them more, or have it be more active participation, right? So if they give a great differential diagnosis, awesome. Then saying, okay, what's your plan? How are you going to rule this in or out? And helping them to focus and engage in that way. So in that way, shadowing can be a better experience. Now, I've had some people ask, well, if you're talking to your resident, won't the patients be bothered? Because after all, it should be patient-centered communication and patient-centered rounding. I would think it would be distracting to have the residents, you talking to the residents. I would say that there's a very, very easy way to overcome that potential problem, and the way to overcome that is to just bring that into the encounter and just have that be part of the encounter. I've had 0 patients ever be upset that they were getting more attention from from a young resident physician who's learning, and going through things. So I'll just, they're not going to be upset that you're instructing this resident physician, helping them be better. So all you got to do is just frame it as a great, wonderful thing that you guys are getting to do together. And so I'll just introduce my medical student or resident. I'll say, hey, this is Dr. So-and-so, or I'm Dr. So-and-so, I'm your hospitalist, but this is my resident physician, Dr. So-and-so, and so I am his or her teacher, and so I am going to be, while I'm talking with you, the patient, or while I'm examining you, the patient, then there will be times that I'm going to be turning to my resident and asking him or her questions, and teaching him or her and correcting him or her, and she'll do a great job, but there are things that she's learning because she's learning, or he's learning, and so there will be some discussion of that, and you, the patient, will get to participate as well, because the things that my resident says to you will be able will help and your understanding and your ability to repeat back, what's going on and to understand what's going on will really help my resident know whether they're doing a good job or not. And so, just by even saying something along the lines, it doesn't even have to be that long, but just basically communicating to your patients that the teaching is part of the visit and that they are an integral part of the residents' learning. Most patients do not get upset about the fact that they get to be teaching doctors something. So in summary, shadowing, as we all know, can range from being a lackluster experience where there's just passive learning or lack of learning, and where the attending physician is just doing their thing, to where the shadowing, the attending and the resident or medical student are working together as a team to grow and learn and to help the patient. And so, so in order to make it a better experience for everyone, then number one, having the mindset of wanting this to be a great active learning experience for our resident, being intentional about talking out loud and asking questions of our resident and having them actively engage and asking them questions, and then letting our patients know that they're an important part of this learning process as well. I hope this is helpful, and I hope that you find that employing some of these things will help you make shadowing a better experience for both you and your learners. I hope this is helpful. I'll catch you on the next one.